Hello everyone, my name is Alfredo Angeles. I'm the Chief Commercial Officer for the Tijuana EDC, and we are here today at the Business and Coffee slots. We're very happy to have Alex Ventura, Commercial Officer also from G Global, a company that provides services of logistics. And thank you for coming, Alex.
Thank you for inviting me. It's a pleasure to be here. I'm very good.
Great, thank you. First of all, I want to know and let the people know about G Global. I don't know if you can introduce the company, the services, and characteristics of it.
Sure. We are a 105-year-old company. We were the first Mexican broker in TJ, so we're very proud of that. We established, the first commerce between Mexico and the U.S.
Wow.
And we started evolving from being a Mexican broker into, different solutions until we became this solutions company that we focused on a lot of manufacturing. And we've been participating throughout the years in many projects where, U.S. or foreign companies bring manufacturing facilities into Mexico, TJ, or Mexicali and other cities.
Yeah, great. So what are the main, let's say, services that you can help a company, foreign company, in G Global?
Well, first of all, and we understand that the biggest challenge is that a foreign company finds in Mexico is legislation. So the trade legislation in this country is a little bit more complex from what we see with our neighbors in the U.S. It's a little bit more simplified, but a lot of the solutions that we put in place for customers is first guide them through, if I want to go and manufacture in Mexico, what do I need to do in terms of the trades and everything related to logistics. So we have a very expert team that they can guide you through what will be the challenges if I want to bring this product, what are the classifications, what are the challenges into bringing them into the IMEX program, and all related topics that comes from moving a plant from the US or any other part into TJ and then getting the finished product exported.
Yeah.
That's how we can help
Okay.
our customers.
And also bring in all the equipment, the raw materials.
Sure. Yes, absolutely. Yes.
Which is kind of complex when a foreign company wants to establish in Mexico, let's say. They need to understand the HTS codes for each of the raw materials, the equipment, and it gets quite complex.
Yes.
So that's when a company like G Global that has 105 years of experience can help them directly. So can you also tell us a bit of what is the market asking right nowadays, let's say for the new tendencies, e-commerce, something like that?
Well, the first division that we had was the brokerage and the manufacturing. And on that side, a lot of things that we're seeing right now is that they're starting to think how to move their production from China into Mexico. So that brings them a lot of how are we going to move, the equipment, the machines, how are the process going to run into Mexico, how the time in transit is going to be affected once it is manufactured, but also if the product now is being produced in Mexico, what are the specifications for each of the processes in order to comply with the new treaties and all of that. So that's one of the tendencies that we're seeing. And the second tendency that is very important is e-commerce. So e-commerce from Mexico into the U.S., it's becoming huge in Tijuana because pandemic brought a lot of longer times in transit from China. So what we're doing is we're nearshoring all the warehouses in order to be able to receive an order today and ship it tonight. So that's the second tendency that we're seeing on the e-commerce side, and it's huge. I mean, we started with a project that had 300 orders per day, and now we're running up to 70,000 orders per day. So it is a lot of volume that it's coming not just to us, to the region on the e-commerce side.
Yes, and that's right because From the second part of the year, from January to June, we absorb around 2.7 million square feet. And around the 40% there was the logistics
Yes.
companies that were growing, expanding, or even, let's say, installing a new operational facility in the region. And that makes a lot of sense because the e-commerce, and I think you will agree with me, nowadays you ask something in the internet and you want it fast.
Yes.
How do you achieve that? I mean, that's when a company like yours work behind with the technology, with the people, the talent to achieve those. What is it? Normal days that you receive.
Well,
product?
the standard in the U.S. is everybody wants something in 2 days.
Wow.
So that's the standard. So what we do, and part of all the technological improvements and the processes that we're trying to run, is try to look for minutes that we can cut from the process. And a lot of that comes from the logistics departments in our company, that they're trying to look ahead into what's coming. How can we cut the process? How can we make a package that is coming for storage, get it into storage quicker because it will receive an order? How can we get it faster? So it's a big group that we have, and a lot of what you do is they're experts on each of their departments, but you got to be able to see when are you going to have longer lines. Are you CTPAT or not? Comply with all the regulations at the time you cross. So when you cross the border and you inject that volume, you don't get behind because you didn't comply with the regulation, and now you have to stop at the border and comply with it. So a lot of those things, when we're planning and doing those processes, we do that analysis with the products that we're going to bring, or the products that our customers are going to sell, and try to come ahead at what permits are you going to require, what U.S. Customs is going to need when you cross the border to get it faster. So a lot of those things come with doing that logistics for a fulfillment.
And a lot of preparation. I think that's something that you need to address for a company like yours, right?
Yes.
There's a lot of preparation to make in time that, let's say, exportation of a product, so the people or the client has a product in 2 days, like you mentioned.
Yes, no, and let me tell you something. We have an implementation team that before the product comes into Mexico, they look at connections, they look at the product, they look at the HTS codes, they look at how are we going to store it. Those engineers, what they try to do is, how can we make it, get to the warehouse fast? And now that it's in the warehouse, we got people that work with, the biggest fulfillment companies that they're trying to analyze the processes and try to look into, hey, let's cut 3 minutes here, 2 minutes there. And then we are running trucks at night because that way it can flow faster than when the border opens. You are right there at the border to cross. There's a lot of things that we do, but those guys, the guys from OPEX, what they're trying to look is, how can we improve? Because the whole cycle could be improved at some point with technology, with better processes. But it's very interesting and it's challenging because we're at the border. So
yes, I know at the border it's something very compromising in terms of advancing in new technologies, as you mentioned. But I think it's quite interesting, as you mentioned, and I think we don't know, as let's say, a normal client, when you order something online, what is behind that, and that's a lot of preparation and experience, like a company like G Global that has 105 years.
Yes.
And I want to ask you also, what's the future of these logistics side? Let's say, can you tell me on 3 or 5 years go from now?
Well, first, our main goal is we want to conquer the biggest border in the world. That's our main goal. But what we see that it's happening right now with all the commercial fight between China and the U.S. is that Mexico is becoming a person on a conference said Mexico is becoming sexy again. So it's appealing to a lot of investors because we are right at the border. There's no commercial fight with us. Times in transit, it's not the same as being on the water for 20 days. but you can be in Texas in 3 days
Yeah.
if you're here in Tijuana. So what we're seeing is a lot of companies, fulfillment companies, or companies that do fulfillment in other sites, they're trying to come to Mexico. So we're seeing a lot of companies that they turn their eye and say, hey, why are we shipping from China? Why are we shipping from anywhere in the world?
Yes.
Because their biggest market is the U.S.
Mm-hmm.
And the second thing for manufacturing is we're seeing those companies that they left Mexico at some point. They're now, how can we come back?
Mm-hmm.
So what we see in the next 3 to 5 years for logistics companies are, we need to get stronger. We need to become technologically advanced enough to be able to serve these new operations that are coming, and the customers, they're going to require faster processes. So what we're seeing is we are in the right spot. I mean, we are in the right spot.
Yeah, the border is very a fun way or place to be, right?
Yes, and it's very interesting. I mean, we got all kinds of manufacturing. We got automotive, we got medical, we got aerospace.
Yeah.
We have a lot. And our people here at the border, they know how it works. That they know that it's very important for their customers to receive product on time.
Yeah.
So,
in different countries as well. You have from France, the U.S., Japan.
Yes.
I mean, all parts of the world have an operation here in Tijuana. What about the future? Do you see, let's say, I don't know, logistic part, using drones for delivering some products, or?
Well, I've seen big companies in the U.S. I worked for a parcel company for many years. They're testing drones.
Wow.
I think the biggest challenge right now is how they're going to regulate that. But we're seeing electronic vehicles being used for deliveries.
Yes.
I'm not sure how the border is going to evolve. I think because of all the contamination that could happen with that, we might stick to trucks for for a very long time. But there's more ways to deliver product, and I think the tests have been really successful. It's just how they regulate that. It's gonna be a part of the future. But yes, definitely, there's a lot of technology coming in the future.
So we can receive the products in one day.
Yeah, well, let's see. But yes. I mean, everybody's pushing for that because the more warehouses you put throughout the U.S., the easier it is for you to get the product same day.
Yeah. Wow.
So,
well, that makes a lot of sense. Thank you, Alex, for being with us.
Thank you
Again, Alex Ventura from G Global, the commercial officer. I don't know if you want to mention the webpage or social media.
It's g-global.com. We have social media as well. So just get there. If you need a solution, just reach out to us.
Yes, if you need something about logistics or bringing equipment, raw materials, G Global is your partner with 105 years of experience, right?
Yes.
Well, see you in the next one. Thank you, Alex, for being with us.
Thank you for inviting.
Goodbye.